This is A.P.N Weekly English News brought to you by Arakan Press Network. Today, Friday 16th of February 2018. For me, your Weekly English News host, Mr. Sajid Jalal. Greeting with you in Islamic greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Headlines from A.P.N. Rohingya homes torched in Tongpu forces threaten Rohingyas at 0.2 mob. Bold as Rohingya villages deepen fears Myanmar is erasing history. Mosque demolished in Mongdo North. News in detail. 4 Rohingya homes were torched to ashes by Myanmar Border Guard Police (BGP) at Tongpu hamlet in Mongdo North. A group of Border Guard Police from Tongpu camp entered the hamlet and set devastating fire to 4 Rohingya houses, which were burnt to ashes, according to A.P.N correspondent report. Myanmar armed forces, along with Arakan extremists, have still been torching the Rohingya homes in various areas of Mongdo and Butidong, forcing people to flee to Bangladesh. The arson attack of Myanmar armed forces and Arakan extremists has been ongoing in northern Arakan, which is a kind of violence to compel the Rohingya to flee the state. Despite the pressure of international community on Myanmar, its armed forces are conducting arson attack in Arakan, causing Rohingya residents homeless and flee to Bangladesh. The armed forces are threatening the Rohingyas in various forms, which are taking shelter at the 0.2 mob from there. A Rohingya from 0. said to Arakan Press Network, "Myanmar armed forces are threatening us so that we may willingly cross into Bangladesh." A mosque was demolished by Myanmar government-backed Nathala new settlers of Jigangbing village track at Noyundong village in Mongdo North on February 12 of 2018. In August last year, Myanmar Border Guard and military touched the madrasa in the mosque compound during the violence against the Rohingyas. The government-backed Nathala new settlers of Jigangbing are cutting away the trees of the mosque compound, according to source. Due to heavy tree fall on the mosque, it was broken down parts by parts, but no government person has prevented them from doing so yet. When the Muslim religious people prohibited them to cut the trees, they said they were cutting the trees with the permission of top-level government officials. It is a religious persecution against Rohingya Muslim in Myanmar, which the Nathala settlers are doing, said a Rohingya resident from the village to A.P.N. Aerial photos of Rakhine State have emerged that appear to show several bulldozed Rohingya settlement, renewing accusation Myanmar is wiping out the homes and history of the Rohingya Muslim minority. Nearly 700,000 Rohingya have fled Myanmar's Arakan State to Bangladesh since insurgent attack on police post triggered a brutal military crackdown. The UN has led global condemnation of the army actions, describing it as ethnic cleansings. Rights activists also say the systematic destruction of the hundreds of villages, mosques and property is effectively rubbing out the Rohingyas' ties to their ancestral land. The Muslim minority are not recognized as an ethnic group in Myanmar and have faced decades of persecution. Many fear the recent crackdown is a push to rid the country of the Rohingya for good. Photos posted on social media after a diplomatic tour of the conflict zone in northern Arakan State last week appear to back that up. The haunting pictures posted on Twitter accounts of the European Union ambassador to Myanmar, Christian Schmidt, show a scarce territory with large patches of level-to-land villages incinerated during the army crackdown now appear to have been completely bulldozed, devoid of all structures and even trees. The Rohingyas are shocked to see their villages razed, said Chris Liwa, head of the NGO The Arakan Project, which has worked for years with the Rohingya in Rakhine State. They fear the upcoming rainy season will further wash away any signs of their past lives, she added. The Rohingya have the feeling that the military are doing away with the last traces of their presence in the region, she said. Myanmar and Bangladesh signed a repatriation agreement last year that was supposed to commence in January, but many Rohingya refused to return without the guarantee of basic rights and safety. Authorities in Myanmar also insist they will heavily vet all returnees and only take back those verified as residents, a complex and controversial process critics says is likely to exclude large numbers of people. Myanmar Socialist Affairs Minister Win Myint, the lead official in the resettlement process, said the bulldozing was part of the plan to build back villages to a higher standard than before. "We are trying to have the new village plan," he said. "When they come back, they can live in their place of origin or nearest to their place of origin." He said it is taking time because of a labor shortage sparked by the Rohingya exodus, and that the government plan to pay returnees to help rebuild their own homes. Accusations of a systematic campaign to write a kind of Rohingya history are not new. Last year, the United Nations Human Rights Office alleged efforts were underway to effectively erase signs of memorable landmarks in the geography of the Rohingya landscape and memory. Access to Rakhine remained tightly controlled despite a snowballing number of allegations of massacres of Rohingya villages in Rakhine. The arrest of two Reuters journalists investigating the extrajudicial killing of 10 Rohingya terrorist suspects in custody has upped pressure on civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi to condemn the army. Her administration is in a delicate power-sharing arrangement with the army, which ruled with an iron fist for 5 decades. This is enough for this week from A.P.N English News Weekly Edition. Thank you for watching our AP News. Please stay tuned for more updates. They're still to come up next as every week. Please subscribe us. Assalamu alaikum.